Good evening or morning, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to Off the Post, episode number 23, I think it is, or 22. Sorry, I do apologise if it's 22 or 23. Thank you very much, Con. Welcome to the stream. Just add you in. I've got 3 people here. What's going on?
You got 2 of me.
Well, I've got 2. There we go. There we go. We've got 2 people.
Fixed.
Right. Don't disconnect on me, will you?
I've been testing it and it's hopefully working.
Good
I was
man,
on call for like an hour and a half, so I hope to test the internet.
That's all right. That's all right. God, I need a shave. Jesus. Anyway, how are you, Com? How have you been this week? How have you found the rest of the weekend of the football, especially midweek action this week?
Is the Great Escape loading for Wolves? Are we keeping our European hopes alive? And are Spurs going to Lincoln City away next season? We're going to be finding out in this podcast. That's for sure. But good. Really good this week.
Yeah, I just seen your tag. We are real United.
Where's Connor?
I know. He can't physically, he talk the talk.
He said in the VC if Parramatta lose to Melbourne Storm in the NRL, he's not going to come on. And they got belted 50-4, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
Well,
not
it was good. It'd be good if I actually followed the sport, but unfortunately I don't. But I like your tag. Obviously mine. Thank you, Forrest. Let's fucking go. 7 points at the top. We will talk about that later on, though. Let's get straight into it anyway. How did you find the whole midweek games?
The whole midweek? It was interesting to say the least. Like, obviously, just a couple of upsets here and there. Obviously, Forest getting that point at City. Wolves beating Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
But there were some usual suspects like Arsenal obviously winning, Spurs are losing. Like it was an interesting weekend. Midweek, because I'm not used to the midweek games. I'm used to be able to race the whole week and then be able to get ready for the weekend games. But I don't like midweek. I don't like midweek games, but thank God it's over.
Yes. A lot of pressure on this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And week. And we'll talk about the FA Cup as well. Right, let's get straight into it anyway. So, first game of the midweek was Everton and Burnley. Obviously, Burnley very unlucky last week against Brentford. Everton unfortunately got the win against your team. We won't go over that too much, but a pretty more comfortable win from Everton at home.
Yes, but again, Burnley don't look awful, but they just can't score. Like, that's what you need in this division. You need to score goals, and if you can't, you're going down. It's the simplest equation possible. And you see that this weekend, Wolves got a result, Forest got a result, you had West Ham having a result, and Leeds. It's nearly a gone for Burnley, and it's unfortunate because I do like Burnley as a club. I like how they are run as a club, but if you can't score goals in this season, you can't score goals in the top flight, you're not going to stay up, no matter how you want to play. It's just as simple. But as for Everton, could the Europa League maybe loading for them because they're looking quite decent at the moment. And I saw them against us. Like, they created dangerous opportunity after dangerous opportunity after dangerous opportunity. And if you can be lethal, you're going to win games. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the question will be asked here is obviously their form. They've got 2 on the bounce. Burnley, unfortunately, now down 19 points. 16, 17, 18, only 3 points behind Wolves as well. Do you believe Everton can continue their form? Obviously, they are playing away at home as their next game, which is obviously not for another week. But how do you feel with Everton Do you feel that they could get a good result against Arsenal? Do you feel it's going to be a struggle? And also Burnley are at home to Bournemouth. And Bournemouth, been a bit touch and go. We'll touch base on Bournemouth in a bit. But yeah, what do you think about the next game for both teams, Everton and Burnley?
Everton might give you a run for your money because obviously Everton, David Moyes still there. Arsenal do love playing against David Moyes' sides. It's always one of it feels like a real Barclays game, Arsenal v Everton. And with David Moyes there, it just feels like the old Barclays from back in the 2000s, early 2010s. So I'm looking forward to that game. We see what Everton can do, obviously away at the Emirates. But for Burnley, you're just gonna have to just try and show your fans something because Burnley, unlike Wolves, which apart from these last couple of months that have been okay, were diabolical. Burnley were just unlucky. So and just I feel like what I want to watch from Burnley is this belief again, like belief that they can put up just a fight towards the end. And I'm going to say, if Burnley did not have a shocking start to the season, they would be above Spurs right now on the table. They see more heart in that Burnley side than I see in whatever that Tottenham side is. And even Wolves have more of a fight than what Spurs have at the moment. Like if you look at that, if you look at the teams down in that bottom 5, bottom 6, it looks like Spurs are the one that's sitting bottom of the league on 16 points, and Wolves are the ones on 29, 30 points.
Yeah, you're right. It's going to be very interesting, obviously, coming to the closing stages with most teams playing 8 games for the remainder of the season. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they go at the moment. We'll go over the table at the end of the show, but we'll move on to Bournemouth and Brentford. Are Bournemouth in a little bit of trouble here? This is 3 draws on a bounce. Like, I think they were quite unlucky not to win this game. I thought Brentford were quite poor. But yeah, three draws. 3 draws. And then the next game is against Burnley away. What's your thoughts to Bournemouth's performances at the moment in form?
Sometimes if you're looking at I'm looking at the stats right now. They've had double the amount of shots, 11-6, but only 2 on target. If you cannot hit the target, you're not going to score goals. It doesn't matter how much possession you have. It doesn't matter if you're playing some good football, pass accuracies, and all that shit. If you can't hit the side of a goal that you need to hit the back of the net, you're not going to score goals. It's not rocket science. It's just put the ball in the back of the net. And Bournemouth only 1 win in 5. They're unbeaten in 5. The most draws in the league in 13 draws. And looking at this table, only Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, and really Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City have less losses than Bournemouth. So they're hard to break down, but they only have 2 more wins than Leeds, Tottenham, Nottingham Forest, or West Ham, and they're battling to survive. So really, a point's a point either way. But maybe a missed chance for Brentford to really maybe knock on that door of Champions League football, especially with Wolves being Liverpool. They would have gone to within a point of the Reds. So, and obviously Chelsea getting that win against Villa is just, maybe put that dagger a little bit in the hearts of Brentford's Champions League hopes. But like I said on the show before, Keith Andrews deserves his flowers. He's done an incredible job to get this side, who lost so many of their best players, lost their manager, and be able to get to 7th. It's incredible.
Did you say that's a lot of telomeres?
Yes.
Wait.
Yeah.
I went for a walk.
Yeah, definitely. Going to be very interesting to see what happens. But yeah, I think obviously they're going to have to start picking it up because obviously Brentford 44 points. Obviously, I do agree that is points lost, especially the game how it went. I think Bournemouth should have got at Brentford. It's a little bit unfortunate. All right, we'll move on. We'll move on to getting closer to the bottom. Leeds and Sunderland. I thought Leeds were quite unfortunate here. The penalty. Yeah, apart from that, really, there wasn't really much in this game, to be honest with you. But Sunderland do get away with the win. But how do you feel much of a dent this could be to Leeds? Yes, they are sitting MP15 at the moment, 29, 32 points adrift of Spurs, and obviously 6 points behind Brighton. Do you feel that Leeds? Do you feel that Leeds could stay up?
Well, if you're looking at those sides down at bottom, if you're looking, just Leeds look better than some of those sides down at bottom. So yes, I'll reckon they'll survive, but barely they will survive. So if you're looking at, I'm looking at the stats right now of this game. 15 shots to 4 Leeds had. Sunderland did not look anywhere close to this game. They had 70% possession to 30.
Yeah.
But Sunderland got the penalty and they walked away with a 1-0 win. And it keeps Sunderland's hopes of making Europe well and truly alive. They're only 4 points off Brentford, obviously them dropping points. And Liverpool dropping points makes Sunderland 8 points behind Liverpool. So now that Europa League, Conference League, around about that area, now it looks a little bit more realistic. While if you look at Sunderland in recent weeks, they looked a bit out of steam. But now they've reached that magical 40 points, they're pretty much safe now. Like, they're 12 points above the relegation zone. They look better than some of the sides down there, especially a team that's sitting in P16 at the moment and P17. Like, obviously, them combined have 2 points of their possible 10 games. So, Sunderland have pretty much survived. For Leeds, who knows? Who knows what happens with Leeds? Leeds look good, but just again, like Burnley and Bournemouth, they just couldn't score.
And
I
think they were quite unfortunate. with the penalties.
And who's Sunderland's keeper? Inderberg played a brilliant game to keep that clean sheet with that many shots to him. So it's a good result for Sunderland. Leeds, I'm not really concerned about. I reckon Leeds will stay up.
Yep. Okay. Obviously, with the form of Sunderland, Fulham, and Bournemouth, all on 40 points at the moment. Difference is that Sunderland have the only team that have won a game out of those 3, and then you've got Newcastle followed very, very closely behind them, and also Crystal Palace and also Brighton. So things could change very, very quickly there as well. And good to see Sunderland getting an away result. It's been quite a while, but we'll move on. We'll move over to the biggest one. This was probably the shock of the week. Wolves and Liverpool. What happened here?
A team that is battling getting caught on the counter-attack twice. That was pretty much what it was. For the first 75 minutes of this godforsaken game, it was the most boring, most pragmatic, boring shit football I have ever seen these two teams play. And Wolves have been shit for like forever, so that's besides the point. But then the game just opened up. Rodrigo Gomez got out the back of Van Dijk, which, as a defender with working on the Ballon d'Or, you cannot let a guy that has not been at all good just get out of the back of the defence with you with your pace. So to make it 1-0, Salah obviously ending his goal drought, 4 months without a goal in the league. But then just Gomez got unlucky with the deflection and it just got in. I'm not blaming Gomez on that. I'm not blaming Alisson for that as well. Like, it's just one of those goals where it could spark the greatest of greatest escapes for Wolves. And if you look at the table right now, Wolves are on 16 points. 12 points off safety, but crucially, they have the easiest run out of all 5 of the sides that they are near each other. Because if I'm looking at Wolves' next games, yes, they got Liverpool in the cup. You got Brentford away, which you could get a result there. Then you got relegation 6-pointers coming up against West Ham, Leeds, Tottenham, Brighton, Burnley. Like, if you can pick up points throughout those fixtures, we could have a scenario where Wolves could be on 20, 25 points and maybe only be like about 3 or 4 points off safety. And if you're looking at this side over the last four or so games, or 5 or so games, they could have beaten you blokes at home. They could have beaten them. They could have beaten Palace if they didn't get the red card and the penalty. They beat Aston Villa and they beat Liverpool. So Rob Edwards, what he needs to do at that club is like, yes, you could be going down to the championship. That's completely fine. Like you, but instill some belief in this club, and he's done that compared to Victor Pereira, who did absolutely nothing at Wolves. Rob Edwards has done a good job, and he needs to be proud of what he has done at this club and take them forward, like what he did with Luton.
Mm.
But
yeah, no, I do agree. I actually did watch most of this game, and I watched obviously the passing and you know Liverpool, and you look at Liverpool when they played Forest last week. You know they were pretty good, to be honest with you, and obviously set pieces came into it. You know Hugo was getting on the score sheet. They looked really really good, but I watched this game and it just seemed to me that their passing was way off. And to be honest with you, the goal that Salah scored is a mistake from the Wolves player because he plays the ball straight in the middle and Salah just runs onto it. So they give him the goal.
Beautiful assist, though. Beautiful.
Well, yeah, don't get me wrong, great assist, but you know, when I watched the goals, you know, I just don't know what Liverpool were doing. Like Curtis, how does Curtis Jones miss that?
Do you want me? You like
It's like there's
it's
the
right
goal.
there.
It's on the
It's-
goal. Like
It's harder for
header it.
you to miss than to actually score the damn thing. And
I
if you
can't
look at the
believe it.
stats again of this game, Liverpool had 15 shots to 5, but only 4 shots on target to 3. So they couldn't hit the side of a barn door.
No.
And possession was Liverpool's favour, pass accuracy was Liverpool's favour. But again, this is the 4th or 5th game that we spoke about already that a club has had more shots but can't score.
Yeah, it's probably been the whole picture of Liverpool's season, to be honest with you. And obviously the question coming in: will Liverpool qualify for the Champions League?
Don't know if they
You look at the table. You obviously got Liverpool's next game. Their next game is against Tottenham, and I think they'll win that easy. But they are down. They're in 6th position, and they're joint with Chelsea.
If you're looking at Liverpool's next games in the league, obviously you got Spurs, but then
3
you got
points by Villa.
Then you got Brighton away, Fulham at home, which is no pushover whatsoever when it comes to Fulham. Then you got the Merseyside derby. Then you got Crystal Palace. Then you got the Man United game, Chelsea, Villa, and Brentford to end the season. Those games against Man United, Chelsea, and Aston Villa away is going to be where this top 4 race is going to be separated.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be separated. But if you just look at this Liverpool side, it just feels like they ran out of ideas. It feels like they've ran out of ideas, and if you look, and I said it before, they'll be knocked if they play the way they have been playing. They'll be knocked out by Galatasaray in the round of 16. Playing the way they've been playing, they'll be knocked out by Galatasaray.
I don't think they'll make it. I watched Galatasaray in the Champions League against Juventus, and they look very good. They've got some fantastic players, and I think, you know, the way that they dealt with the Wolves players, and especially obviously Gomez that came on, and the young kid that scored again, he scored obviously last week against Villa. I think they're going to struggle. I think they're really going to struggle against Galatasaray. They're a different beast, and they'll definitely have a point to prove. They've not been in the Champions League for a long period of time. So, anyway, we'll move on. Your question is yes, Champions League, or no?
No. I'm going to say no at this stage, but obviously things can change.
I think they will.
Okay.
I think Villa will drop out.
Okay. I'm saying Villa staying there and Liverpool dropping out.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll move on to our next game, and I'll let you take away the questions to me on this one. It was Arsenal, and the biggest thing here was Arsenal and City were playing together at the same time, so all the fans and everyone was probably looking at their phones and their clocks to see what the results were and stuff. So this was the big one. Pressure, obviously, on both teams as always. But any questions from you for the Brighton and Arsenal game? To me.
Okay. How did you feel like you guys played? Because obviously,
Shit.
looking at this, I watched this game. You guys played like you were not even fighting for the title. You're playing to battle the relegation. One of the most dullest, boring games I feel like I've watched. Brighton peppered, but again couldn't hit the side of a barn door.
No,
and Arsenal,
they couldn't. You're right.
And then Arsenal were able to just get that one goal through Saka. But is this where the title is now Arsenal's to lose? Or is it now you still have to pick up results?
For me, it's a bit of a breather, I think. We'll talk about City's game as probably at the same point. We might as well because we're here. That was a game that they probably should have won. But then again, they're playing an opponent that are fighting to stay in the Premier League. So they're going to put everything behind it. And I watched that game and I thought City were quite poor. I think, I'll be honest, if they don't have Semio, they're miles points behind. Because they seem to me they don't have a clue of what else to do. Cherky's making things happen. Semio's scoring every week, which is great for the team. They brought Foden on, done nothing. And Morgan Gibbs-White again scores in the second week in a row. And Elliot Anderson, a great finish, to even give him that space to score a goal like that, which was good. They did push at the end, though. To your question, I think it gives us a breathing space. I don't think you can ever say never, the title's over, because I still think, and I said from last week's show and the week before that, there is still twists in this Premier League. Everton's not an easy place to easy opponent. They're difficult. They love set pieces. They're hard. Shavakowski and all the guys like that. They're a pretty nitty gritty team to play against. So that won't be easy. It is at home, so it's an advantage. And I'm looking at now the run in. We've got quite a lot of games at home. City have quite a lot of games away.
Well, obviously, you got that April 20th game, City v Arsenal.
Yeah.
Wrap up the league. Wrap it up.
Well, people are saying we play City in the Carabao before that. Right, which I think is on the 18th of March, if I'm not mistaken. Right? 23rd. So we play them on the 23rd, but then you've got Champions League in between that. So they've got Real Madrid, we've got Leverkusen. These are the games, and obviously you've got the FA Cup this weekend
against Mansfield. Mansfield Town.
I'm never gonna write them off because I'm never gonna write any opponent off, but on paper we should wipe the floor really.
But it's the same as what we said. I said last week against Burnley, and Mansfield blew them off the park.
Well, there you go. So football is a crazy sport. No, I don't think the title is still done. I don't. You've got people are looking at it is that we drop points. I think we play Everton first. Yes, we do. And then Man City play straight after us. So we play first. So the pressure's on us. And then the pressure then falls to Man City because they play West Ham, which are on good form at the moment as well. So that doesn't look like that won't be a tough game. But then again, they should be able to get at West Ham's defence. So you then put that in, say, for instance, we draw against Everton, Man City win.
It's 5 points.
It's back to 5. And then they've got that game in hand, which is then pushes it to what?
2 points or 4?
There you go. And we've got to play them. So no. Man City have been 9 points, 7 points behind, and they've still won the league. So, but as I've said so many times, it's not the same team that last season, the season before that. So the Brighton game was pretty ugly. You know, we got the goal. That was lucky, to be honest with you. I think it shouldn't have really been a goal. The keeper should have saved it. Brighton just couldn't score. They really didn't give us anything. Yeah, probably people saying, did we waste a bit of time? Should have Brighton had a penalty? Probably. That's probably something that you look at as well. But 3 points is 3 points. Should Man City have beaten Forest in the last minute? 100%. 100% they should have done. But they didn't. The ball was cleared off the line and they've dropped points. And I think they know deep down, they know that. They know they needed to, they need to capitalise on that because now 7 points is clear. And then when you look at the games that we've got, Arsenal's running is looking a little bit more favourable than Man City's. They've got to play Brentford, they've got to play Bournemouth, they've got to play Villa, and they've got to play Chelsea. And they've also got to play the teams at the bottom. And you've seen them, they've played Forest and they struggled. So I think there's more surprises. More for them than us.
Because looking at your games coming in, obviously I'm eliminating the FA Cup game against Mansfield, the Leverkusen game, and the cup final. You got Everton at home, Bournemouth at home, City away, us at home, Fulham at home, West Ham away, Burnley at home, and Palace away. So in looking at that run, like really, you got City away is going to be difficult.
I think we'll draw.
West Ham away is going to be difficult, especially with them battling to survive.
No, I think it'll be West Ham.
And then you got Palace away, which is always a daunting place to go to, no matter who.
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment, but it's all, like what I've learned from Palace over the last couple of seasons. They love to end the season off with an absolute goal fest.
I think we'll win every game and draw one.
So that means City would have to win pretty much. Not even they have to hope that you drop points because they can't win 10 in a row and still win the league.
Can you see that? The only way I can see it is with the games in between. That's the only way. The FA Cup, the Champions League, the Carabao. If we lose the Carabao final against Man City, that gives them momentum. We then play them within 11 days later. But then Real Madrid play Man City, and then Man City then play us. That's a we're in the same boat as well. We play Leverkusen, and then we play Man City. So there's a lot, there's a lot of games coming up still, and that's what Pep said in his press conference a couple of days ago. There's so many games still to go, including the Prem. So I personally, I said it when we were going through all the predictions. I think Arsenal will finish 5 points ahead of City at the end of the season. I think they'll finish around about 86 and City will finish on 81.
There's still twists in this race, and
there is.
We can go back here on that game week, and Arsenal lose to Everton, and City win, and then we're going back into a prospect where City is 4 points behind, and we could say the Arsenal bottlers are coming back again. So who knows? Or Arsenal win, City lose, 10 points clear, and then I think it's about time to pop the champagne. Nearly.
No, I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be. I think the way that they are, they know that they've got a job to do, and it's now game by game by game by game. He mustn't be focusing on the noise and the social media. Yes, it's difficult for the players because they've got PRs, they've got people that deal with that, and you can't sometimes not want to look because you want to look at the results, but you need to concentrate on game by game basis because they've been there before. They know that they can win it, and City probably know that they can win it as well. And the thing is, it's I said this to Chaos last week, it is all about pressure. These two teams are under extreme pressure. One is chasing and one is trying to win the Premier League. Well, they both are, basically, but one's chasing and the other one's defending. And at the moment, You know, when you have one team playing beforehand and then one team playing after, or one team playing a day later and then a day after, it's a lot of pressure because then it's like, well, we need to get 3 points. Arsenal playing Everton first, right? They get the job done. Who's the pressure on then? City, because they need to get the job done against West Ham. But then West Ham want to stay up. So they're playing West Ham at the moment in their situation where they've just got a great result, which we'll talk about in a second. They are on now joint points with Nottingham Forest. You telling me that that's not going to be a tough game?
Yeah, and they also want to start trying to eliminate the clubs down below it, like Wolves and Burnley, try to knock them out of the race so they don't have to worry about them. And
Precisely.
But like I said before, and I forgot to ask you that for the Wolves Liverpool game, is the Great Escape a thingy? And I'm saying yes. If this,
No, I don't think. No, they won't do it. They won't.
I reckon they can get close, really close. The way that Tottenham are playing, I feel like they can leapfrog them. But that's besides the point.
Well, we'll touch base on obviously the 30th games, but we'll move on. We'll move on to Fulham and West Ham. West Ham again, I think on really, really good form. I've been quite impressed with West Ham in the last few weeks. I think Nuno's got them playing well. Somerville again, what a key player. He causes so many problems, and I think he's going to cause City problems. But then again, you look at City's team, and you then look at Semio, and you look at that, they should beat West Ham pretty comfortably. But West Ham are now on the same points as Forest. And that is, this is the time where you do not want to play these teams because they put 11 players behind the ball, exactly the same thing that Forest probably done, right? That's a draw. Because City, they're going to have to break them down. And then Somerville and players like Bowen and obviously their new striker that they've signed Tati. I think he's Greek or whatever. He's got a long name. They can cause problems, and we know what Jared Bowen's like in the Premier League, and Somerville's on fantastic form lately, and if they get all those guys fit as well, they've got Fernandez and Souček, they've got some really, really interesting players, and Basaka, he's experienced, so it's going to be a very, very interesting game. I was quite surprised that they beat Fulham. I thought that Fulham would have beaten them, especially at home, because Fulham have been quite good, but they have lost three games out of 5. Lost one at 2 on the bounce, and then lost 2 on the bounce. West Ham are all over the place. They've won 1, drawn 2, lost 1, and won 1-1. So they're on good form. Your pick between West Ham and Forest, like who you picking to go down, or if any of them?
I don't think it'll be any of them. Because there's a sign in 16th that look absolutely dog awful. I reckon Forest and West Ham will get ahead of them. And it's Forest and West Ham. They are showing a lot more fight than what that side is really showing. And obviously we'll get to their game against Palace because that's going to be a very interesting one I want to discuss. But West Ham will finish 16th. Forest will finish 17th and Tottenham will finish 18th. I reckon Spurs will go down, and it's only got themselves to blame, realistically.
Okay. All right, we'll move on. We'll move on to this one. We're gonna go Villa and Chelsea, Tottenham and Palace, and then we're gonna go Newcastle and United last because I know you'll have a lot to say about that one. Villa and Chelsea. What was your thoughts to this? Because I thought João Pedro was fantastic. He was. What a player, Chelsea bouncing back from obviously their loss last week. They needed to. And also Villa also needed to bounce back, but they didn't bounce back. They actually went backwards, which is very interesting to see. Do you think Villa are in a bit of trouble at the moment? Emery said in his press conference there's no consistency in the team. And the last 2 results have not shown that. They've got the players to score goals, like Rodgers, Watkins, who have been absolutely fantastic. But they got ripped apart against Chelsea.
Where can I start? Obviously, Villa over exceeded my expectations for the season. I didn't think they'll be in a Champions League race. I didn't think they would be taking about 6 or 7 months to be in the title race. But now the steam has completely fallen off. The wheels are wobbly, and if Unai Emery ain't careful, he'll miss out on Champions League football. But if I'm looking at this Villa side, and I'm looking at their results, like the games coming up, they got Man United. They got Man United away, which is going to be a massive game for Champions League football, massive. But then you also got West Ham, Forest, Sunderland, Fulham, Tottenham, Burnley. Like, if you can win those games, because the last 2 games they got Liverpool at home and City away, so that's a tough run going into it. If you can beat these sides, especially sides like Tottenham and Burnley and Fulham and Forest, who like maybe not Forest or Burnley, but like these sides that are battling, they can make Champions League football, and they are by far the best side in the Europa League. So there's still a possibility of them still being in the Champions League. But I don't. Unai Emery even said there's no, like you said, there's no consistency in this side. That consistency better freaking come quickly for this side, because they got Man United away, and obviously I saw United against us. They created good chances. They obviously, again, Ramsdale pulled off to save off the save, and they just got caught out. But they need to. Villa, in this state of form that they're in, I can't see them. I can't see them making Champions League. But I think, if we come back here next week and Villa have pobbled United like 2-0, 3-0, then I could say, oh, Villa maybe be back. So
I think they'll beat United.
That's what I reckon as well.
I think they'll beat United. I think they'll get a big rear up. I think the games that they've got coming up, I think you'll see a bit of a difference from Villa in the next few weeks. I think they'll beat the other teams that they're playing. I think they're capable of that. I think obviously Liverpool, and this is another thing. This is why I'm just going back to Arsenal. We've got no one to play that's in strife. All these teams that are playing in the next 8 games are in Champions League fights, are in relegation fights.
Or Europe, right? Or the Europe fights.
And that puts that situation again, pressure. Villa now have lost 2 games on a bounce. One, they obviously lost against a derby, which really shouldn't have lost, but they were shocking. And then they got they got their pants taken down by Chelsea. Chelsea just wiped the floor. I thought the way they started, it looked like Villa looked into it, but then Chelsea just opened them up. Cole Palmer was playing balls left, right, and centre, and Pedro just got on the end of everything. So, and they're going to want to bounce back from that. They're going to have to. Like you say, they've got Man United away, and then straight after United, they've got West Ham. They'll beat West Ham. They'll beat that game. I think they'll win
and obviously have that Europa League round of 16 game against Lille that I also got as well, wedged between that United game.
Yep.
So
that's what I mean. So, all right, moving on to Chelsea. Good way to bounce back. They were pretty good, weren't they? To be honest with you, and they're in a fight as well, which is another fight. And I think if I was to look at the 2 teams between Villa and Chelsea, I'd say Chelsea. Take it. I see Chelsea take the Champions League spot.
But I also remember now that since the coefficient, 5th also gets Champions League. I think 5th already gets Champions League for England, so you can still finish 5th and qualify for the Champions League.
Yeah.
So Villa have that little bit of a buffer saying that, okay, if we still finish 5th, then we still qualify for the Champions League. If you win the Europa League, then you go on to win the Champions League. I'll say that Villa will finish 5th, but win the Europa League. That's what I'm going to say for Villa at the end of the season. I reckon Villa will finish 5th, still qualify for Champions League, because I don't think Brentford have enough to catch them. They're 7 points behind them. And just Liverpool are just too inconsistent. So I feel like Villa with their run coming in, obviously United away, like the games that I feel like Villa will struggle will be United, Liverpool, and City. All the others, I reckon, I expect them to get results at, especially
So
at home.
So can you see 3 L's there then?
I can see. I mean, I will see 2 draws. I reckon they'll lose to City on the final day.
I think they'll draw.
Ooh, okay. I will say, yeah, I reckon they can beat Liverpool. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon if you win at least either one
Well,
of Man City,
it could be all 3.
it could be all 3.
Villa can beat City. They've got the players to do it, but with the consistency and the form, it's shit. So going into obviously next week, they need to sort it out. But they're playing United, who are on good form. They've just lost their first game. But
and on the same points. Same points.
Well, that's what I mean. They're on what 50? Was it 58, 51 and 48? Isn't it? Yeah.
51 for United, 48 for Chelsea and Liverpool.
It's tight. It's real tight.
And then you got Brentford 4 points back, just knocking on that door as well. A very faint knock, but it's a knock.
Yeah, and they'll win. Brentford will win their next game. They'll beat Wolves at home.
You think so, but obviously if Wolves win by a good margin, they get off the bottom of the table. All
right. Moving on. We'll go to Tottenham and Crystal Palace. Obviously, it was the last game. It was today actually, and I think I said you did quite well this week, by the way, on the old predictions, which we'll go over as well. I just never thought they were going to win this game, even at home. They've been absolutely diabolical all season, and they went down to 10 men. And guess what? Mickey van der Ven. He's going to miss 3 games. Like, what the... Romero, right? 3 weeks ago, and now Mickey van der Ven 3 weeks ago, right? And they need a player of his caliber to survive. And Liverpool and Tottenham, they're playing away. Then they've got Forest. That is going to be a game. We may have to do a watch along on that game because that game's going to be.
Look at the games that Spurs have. Cut the Atletico Madrid game. Cut the Atletico Madrid out of it.
All right,
Liverpool away.
Predict it. 8 games. Right, you go. What's the first one?
Liverpool, they will lose. Forest, they will lose.
They'll lose.
Sunderland, they will lose away.
Forest, they'll draw.
Sunderland, they will lose. In my opinion. Sunderland away.
You've got no Mickey van der Ven then, have they?
No.
No. Yeah, they'll lose, yeah.
Brighton at home.
I think I'll beat Brighton.
Wolves away.
They'll beat Wolves.
Okay. Villa away.
They'll lose.
Leeds at home.
I think Leeds will beat them.
Chelsea away from home.
They'll lose.
And Everton at home.
They'll draw.
So you're really only saying 8 points. So 37 points, is that enough to survive?
36.
Not really.
Well, 36 isn't it really? But they're saying 40 now. So I think they're in serious trouble. I think that red card, let alone their form, because remember they were talking to Igor Tudor in a press conference, and they were talking about pressure, and he wouldn't answer the question. They know that they are under excruciating pressure because it's just not like a club. Even though I fucking hate Tottenham, right? It's not just the club. It's what's behind the club, the stadium, what Tottenham Hotspur is all about. The players they've got. You can't tell me that starting 11 is a fucking Coca-Cola Championship side. You cannot tell me.
No, you can't. They're not like a Lincoln or a Peterborough or a Mansfield or what the heck is a Macclesfield, like you said a couple of weeks ago. They're not a Macclesfield side.
They're not. So what the fuck is going wrong? This is the thing I don't understand. But then when I watched against Palace, they just don't have a clue.
Sorry, you go. I was about to say, you said that they will beat Wolves. I reckon they'll lose to Wolves. the way they've been
Oh, yeah,
playing, and Wolves are showing more fight than them. How is a side that's been so goddamn bad all season actually have more fight than this brain dead Tottenham side? And I feel sorry for Igor Tudor to have to deal with.
He's been sacked in 10 different teams, hasn't he?
But what do you expect with the clubs that he's been managing?
But they've also they've just come out and they've said that they believe that they should let Tudor step down and bring someone in for the fight. So how much of an unbalance is that? You're having a different manager every bloody week. Whoever comes into that club basically needs to just literally sit them down in a room and says, "We've got 8 games, right?
To save your
We
financial
need
future.
to win as many of these games as possible. Otherwise, we are going down." That is it. Forest are performing, Wolves are performing, Leeds are performing, and West Ham are performing. And they're the teams that you're fighting against, right? Wolves, I don't know if you're hearing this, Connor. You're way out, mate, because they've now got 16 points. So that 11 that you said is gone. Wolves will get into the 20s with the results that they've got, with the fixtures they've got coming up. They won't win them all, I don't think, but they'll win. I think they'll win another game or 2. And I think that's about it. I think West Ham will get a draw, a few draws. Maybe a few wins as well. And Forest, I think, are a better team than Wolves and West Ham.
And I'm looking at this Wolves. I'm looking at the Wolves as fixtures. They have no one in the top half for the rest of the season.
Who have they got?
They've got Brentford away, which they can
Lose.
never. They'll lose. Okay.
Yeah.
I would have said draw. West Ham away.
Lose.
Okay.
That I don't know on that one. I think that'll be crunch.
I reckon they'll get a point there. Leeds away.
They'll lose that.
Again, I'll say a draw because they'll be very Tottenham at home. I reckon they'll win.
They'll either draw or lose.
Okay, you're not as optimistic with Wolves as what I am.
I don't think Wolves. I don't know. They'll lose against Sunderland.
I reckon they'll beat Sunderland. Sunderland's away form is as bad as ours. Brighton away.
They'll lose.
Yeah, I reckon they'll lose that one. Fulham at home.
They'll lose.
Okay. I reckon a draw, and then they'll beat Burnley on the final day.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and that will push them either ahead of Burnley or behind them. Just.
I feel like if
we see the Burnley that we saw against Brentford, then Wolves and Burnley, Wolves will finish behind Burnley.
Yeah, fair enough. I understand, but my optimism with Wolves, especially after the results they've been like the fight that they've been having, they can definitely get a draw at Brentford. They can definitely get a draw or a win at West Ham. They can definitely get a draw at Leeds. Like, belief can take you a long way.
It can. Yeah, I tell you, it's fucking exciting. Honestly, this Premier League has been like all over. You got the top. You got P1 and P2, right? They're going at it. You've got P3, P4, and P5. They're going at it, and then you've got 6 as well, and then you've got 7 that are coming into the mix, and then you've got the relegation battle. Like, well, what more could you want?
Yeah, and it's an incredible season, and again, like I said last week, these promoted sides are going to be coming up, like a Commentary or a Wrexham or a team like that. They need to watch Sunderland and be able to see the blueprint of how to survive in the Premier League. Don't watch a Burnley, watch a Sunderland.
It would be amazing to see Wrexham go up again.
Or Commentary, or Ipswich, or Millwall. Yeah. Millwall versus Arsenal in the Premier League. Buy me tickets.
Be a bloody fighting fest.
Tottenham go down and Wolves and Millwall go up. London derby.
Jesus. It would be. I've said it along. I've said it for weeks and weeks that Tottenham are in strife, and they really do need to sort it out. Anyway, let's moving on to the last game. Your team, take us away with this. Like when you, first of all, I'm going to put it straight to you. When you saw 10 men, were you like, "Oh no, here we go"?
It was 12 men against 10. That referee was corrupt. How do you send off friggin' Jacob Ramsey for rolling his ankle? Like, even if you look at Jacob Ramsey's face, he's like, "What did I do?"
Yeah, well,
he was on the floor holding his ankle. Like he rolled it and then he gave him a red card. And I'm
But how
like,
did you feel? How did you feel after that 10 minutes?
oh my god, I banged my desk. I was not
Here
happy.
we go again. Here we go again. Oh, you're gone. And he's gone. I know you're back.
No,
Here,
Phoenix is trying to ring me, not now.
yeah.
But looking at 10 men,
What a
but
game! What a game!
Then William
Game.
Osula, I'm telling. It's funny that William Osula, a guy that we tried to loan out at the start of the season, has more goals than Alexander Isak this season, which is funny.
Let me tell you one thing, and you'll definitely agree with me. What did I say about your goalkeeper?
That Ramsdale should be starting ahead of Pope.
Thank you.
Like,
That's why.
I mean,
And that game shows it. That game shows it. Quality, absolute quality, and that's the reason why you got him.
He just needs to start for the rest of the season. Even start him against Barcelona. Just start him against Barcelona. Do not go back to Pope, please. Just I'm begging to Eddie Howe to do not go back to Nick Pope because unfortunately Pope is just too unreliable. I think he needs to be sold off. We need to get ourselves maybe another goalkeeper. Maybe because Ramsdale, I don't feel like Ramsdale should play almost every single game. Otherwise, he'll be exhausted. We need a backup goalkeeper. But
you need that rotation.
We need that rotation. But how can I go into a game and be like, Pope's starting. Okay, we're going to lose maybe, or even get a point. But Ramsdale, I feel a lot more comfortable in between the sticks because he's an actual shot stopper. He's a born and bred shot stopper.
I think it was just class in the whole game. I think he just, like, some of the saves he made, they were vital saves. He just knows what to do in those scenarios. You know, I'm not saying he's played for like a big club like Arsenal, but you know, everyone wanted Ramsdale, did not want David Raya, and obviously David Raya has obviously outshone Ramsdale. And obviously Arsenal were going into that situation where they wanted a guy to play ball at the feet, a goalkeeper that was good with ball at the feet, and Leno wasn't. So it was time for him to move on, and Raya was always in the background. But since Ramsdale's gone, I just don't think he's been utilised enough. And I think in that game, when I saw the 10 men, I'm thinking, oh, Man United are gonna, you know, should win this. But I thought Man United were quite poor, to be honest with you. And good to see Anthony Gordon on the score sheet. And the goal. The goal. Because I know what Eddie Howe would have said to him: take it to the touchline and play for the draw. And he went, nah, stuff you. I'm going to send it inside and ping it round. Oh,
he just pinged it. He just pinged it. It reminded me of
Michael Carrick, mate. Your first L, bro.
His first L, and he's from
Where
Newcastle.
are you, Webby? Where are
he's
you, Webby?
From Newcastle too, Michael Carrick.
Yeah, no. Typical Man United fan, eh? Typical Man United fan. Don't show up when the times are hard.
But what's it called? It reminded me of Isak's goal in that 6-1 demolition of Spurs. Like he cut on his left, went around the goalkeeper like he bent it like Beckham pretty much. And it feels like William Osula has had not the opportunity this season. And I saw in that Champions League game against Karabag, even though it was against Karabag, we try to utilize Voltamade and send him in and try to make him the next Joelinton. I don't think that's gonna.
He's gone on holiday, hasn't he? Where is he? What's going on with him?
I think he's just trying to get his body right. Like I just feel like Voltamade. I think Eddie Howe did come out and say Voltamade was playing with a little bit of a niggle, like during the last couple of games. So I feel like he just said to him, you know what? You go and rest up and try and maybe get ready for Barcelona. Maybe this first leg and just try and get yourself warmed up. Because I don't think we'll probably play our first string against. Because if you're looking at the games coming up in March, at the back end of March, you got Man City in the Cup at home, Barca at home, Chelsea away, Barca away, and then you got the Timeware Derby to end March. So I feel like he's saying to Voltamade, you know what? Take maybe maybe not the rest of March, but maybe wait until the Timeware Derby to play. and try and just get yourself fit because he's just feeling a bit flat. And that's what Shearer said it on, I think it was on Sky Sports. He was saying that Baltimore is just looking a little bit lackluster. And I feel like, well, he doesn't have you're playing him centre mid. Like, you're trying to make him the next Joel Linton. Like, Joel Linton
he was quality.
Yeah, and Joel Linton
He was quality.
Joel Linton was quality. Tonali was quality. And you saw the passion from Tonali at the end of the game as well. And Trippier as well.
Fantastic game.
I feel like the Tonali, like
And
you
so
said
did
last
Alanga.
week about Tonali maybe leaving at the end of the year. At the end of the year, I feel like the passion he showed at the end of the game, where he went to the fans and like going bananas with him. I feel like he's saying to the fans, like, I owe you for that year and a half that he was out with that bang. I feel like I owe you a couple of seasons of just quality Perla-esque football. And I feel like you said that he could move on to Arsenal or like a top club. I feel like he will stay due to that to the fans and like
maybe
he loves the fans. Guimaraes loves the fans as well, and like Guimaraes also said in one of like a while back, he's like one of the best fans in country, and that's where he wants to play at. He wants to play in front of the best fans, and he said that Newcastle is like one of the best places to go to, and that's saying something because Leon, when he was at France, he said that they were one of the best in Europe.
Well, to have obviously Guimaraes out as well, injured, and to be United, that's a pretty good one. But I thought you standout players. I thought Alanga played really, really well. He ran off the ball. He's so fast. And then obviously the substitution that Eddie Howe made as well. And Trippier was class as well at right back. Definitely used his experience as a right back. He hasn't got the legs, but his balls, his final ball is fantastic. So next game's against Chelsea. Bit of confidence with Newcastle moving forward, do you think?
We'll see what will happen after that first leg, especially against Barca. Like, if we can show a good performance and, like, even come out of there with maybe a win, will give us a lot of confidence taking to Chelsea away. Mm-hmm. Obviously, a European rival, realistically.
Great game, though. It's always a great game between the two of them. I remember watching it this season.
And there's always that little bit of fear factor going to Chelsea away. Like, obviously, the last time we played Chelsea, we bottled a 2-goal lead.
Yes,
back
that
in
was
December.
The game. I remember that. That was a brilliant game. Yeah, so how did you lose that?
I could go on with that into that one, but like we need to exercise those demons and be able to be like, okay, we need to be Chelsea. We need to keep these European hopes alive. We need to keep Europe alive. And Europe's in touch. Liverpool lost. Brentford dropped points. Some other clubs around us, like Fulham dropped points. A couple of others have dropped points. Like, we are keeping Europe by the slimmest of margins. With somehow on our fingernails, we're keeping Europe alive. And if we can continue to play like that, like that's the first good performance I've seen us play for a while, excusing the game against Karabakh.
10 points. 10 points in 8 games. That's a big ask.
It's a big ask, but
big ask.
Who knows? If we can go on a run, like let's say beat Chelsea, beat Sunderland, beat Palace, beat Bournemouth, that's 4 in a row, and those teams at the top who are playing against these bottom clubs.
And you got at home at Arsenal.
Then you got away at Arsenal. Then you got Brighton, Forest, West Ham at home, and Fulham, which feels like we play Fulham at the end of the season every single year.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Do you think Ramsdale starts in the next Prem game against Chelsea?
Yes, he has to because he can't.
Or do you start him against City in the Cup?
I reckon we'll play Pope against City in the Cup.
Okay.
Because I feel like Ramsdale should just be our number one keeper. Unless Eddie Howe has an idea of a goalkeeper we can look at the summer. Like there's a goalkeeper from Atalanta, the Italian goalkeeper that looks really good, but obviously Italian goalkeepers from Atalanta ain't doing great in the Prem. And I remember Vicario being at Atalanta and he's been turned into a walking joke in the Prem. So we need to just start Ramsdale for the whole rest of the season, apart from maybe the cup games.
Okay. What about, we'll touch base on United as well before we go over to predictions and next week, and also the FA Cup special. What do you think is the blip for Man United? Do you think they'll bounce back next week?
Don't know. I really, really do not know when it comes, because I feel like it's just one of those performances. Like we've seen this story when it comes to United so many times. They have this new manager bounce. They feel like they're back in the glory days, and then one loss makes it all fall apart again. It happened under Ollie. It happened under Ten Hag. It didn't really happen with Amorim, but Amorim slowly got the performances out of him, and then it fell off a cliff.
Do you think they could have beat? Do you think they should have beaten you?
It was more of an even game than what really what the stats really said. It was 14 shots to 11, 5 shots on target to 4.
So you would say a draw?
I would have said more a draw, but you know what? Like even after the red card, and then Casemiro, even after the red card, we still scored. Like it was still 1-1, and especially at St James's Park, and Man United having really, really, really poor record at St James's Park, especially in recent years. I felt more confidence in being like, okay, we're going to actually maybe win this game more than Man United wanting. Man United wanted the game less in the second half than what we wanted it, and it's a win. And Casemiro's goal and his celebration, it really, really wounded me up in a way. Him doing this, yeah, you deserve to lose. You deserve to lose after that. You deserve to be red carded, fined, and freaking banned for the sport. But that's besides the point. William Salah literally just, and then Gordon with the pen. But I'm not really going to be talking about the penalty because I have a 50-50 opinion on it.
No, it's a pen. It's the pen. It's the blatant pen. All right. Yeah, I think. Do you think Man United will beat Villa?
No. I don't
think
think
it'll continue.
I reckon Villa will get the job done against Manchester United. Okay. Just because we've seen this story of United having this one loss when there's an interim manager, and then it starts the wheels fall off. It happened under Ollie, and then they lost that 4-1 loss to Watford, and then he got sacked within 2 or 3 weeks after that. We saw it with Ralph Rangnick. They got that beautiful win at PSG all those years ago, and then they got dumped 6-1 to Spurs, and then he got sacked. Or was it with another manager? Well, I forgot. But we've seen managers come at this club, and I'm hoping it's different for Michael Carrick. But Carrick is really, unfortunately, I feel like Michael Carrick is just a championship manager. Like Frank Lampard was at Chelsea. I feel like he'll get in top 4, maybe get top 4, top 5, but I feel like he's going to be found out the following season.
Okay.
That's my opinion on that.
All right. Well, let's go over to the predictions as well. So, obviously, last week it was a very good week by yourself, Anthony. So, obviously, myself got 4, Keeper got 3, Cal's got 5. Anthony, you got 6, mate. So, well done.
Including the Wolves result, which Connor was shocked off.
Connor got 5 and Sats got 4. So I'm leading the way with 142 points. Keeper with 129. Nishka to 124. Kaz 90. Anthony 77. Sats 44. Shaz 42. RJ 24. Connor 38. And Husey 42. So they are your predictions for that. Right. I'm going to put your predictions in for match week number 20. No, match week 30. All right, we'll start off with you. Burnley and Bournemouth.
I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw.
I'm going to go 2-0 Bournemouth. Sunderland and Brighton.
I reckon this is going to be a Sunderland masterclass, a 2-0 win for Sunderland.
I'm going to go 2-1. Chelsea and Newcastle.
I reckon this is going to be a 2-2 draw.
I'm going to go for... I'm going to go for a 2-1 win, Chelsea, I think, on that one. Arsenal and Everton.
Gut saying 1-1, but I reckon it's going to be a 1-0 Arsenal win.
Which one?
1-0 Arsenal.
I think it'll be 2-0. West Ham and City.
2-1 City.
I'm going to draw. 1-1. Palace and Leeds.
3-0 Palace. I reckon, yeah, Leeds.
I'm going 2-1.
Okay,
I'm going to go 2-1. Man U and Villa.
2-0 Villa.
I'm going to go 2-1 Villa. Forest and Fulham.
0-0. I feel like this is going to be one of them.
Ooh. No. I'm going to go 2-1. Oh. No, just need to change that one. I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham away. Liverpool and Spurs. I'm going to go 3-0.
This is going to be a 5-0 Liverpool win.
Okay. Brentford and Wolves.
I'm going to go for a 2-1 Wolves win. Again.
Really?
Again. Wow. I reckon Wolves will win that game.
I'm going to go 2-0. All right. That is done and dusted. Game of the week that will be for the 15th of March. What's your thoughts? Obviously, Liverpool and Spurs, eh? Got to be.
Has to be Liverpool, Spurs, or Newcastle, Chelsea.
Man United. Yeah. There's some big
Or
games
Man
there.
United, Villa.
Some big games there.
And a couple of there.
Crazy times yet again.
Crazy,
all right.
Crazy times this season. We could see Spurs relegated to the Championship. We could see Leicester go down to League One. We see freaking Sheffield Wednesday on minus points. It's a crazy time in the English football pyramid.
Definitely. Let's close it out with the FA Cup and then the table and stats. FA Cup 5th round this weekend. Wolves playing Liverpool. If you got predictions, who are you going for on that one? Do you think Liverpool come back with redemption?
I reckon it will be a 1-1 draw and Wolves win on pens.
I reckon Wolves are going to beat them. I reckon Liverpool beat them 4-0. They won't want to lose again.
They'll lose again.
I reckon they'll get absolutely destroyed this time. Mansfield Town versus Arsenal, which is Sunday. So obviously the first game is 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then Mansfield and Arsenal.
You expect Arsenal to win 3-0, but I would not be surprised if you lose. I would not. Because it is the magic of the cup. Mansfield are on a great run. They're even doing very well in League One. So who knows? Like you said, football's a funny game. Anything's possible.
Are you over the age of 18?
Yes, I'm 21.
You might want to put a bet on that then if you think that. Because if you think that, you're going to be a very, very wealthy man. Because I can't. I'm seeing it. For me, I'm seeing like a 4-0 win, man. Or 4-1.
If Arsenal lose, we're not going to see you on the podcast.
Yeah, no doubt.
We didn't see Cows until like 5 weeks after the Palace lost to Macclesfield.
Yeah, well, I thought he would have been on as well because I think he's away. All right, we'll continue with the FA Cup very, very quickly. Wrexham and Chelsea. That's going to be a game, isn't it? That is going to be a game.
I feel like boil over going. I feel like Wrexham might beat Chelsea.
Really?
Wrexham are on a good run of form. They're just put 5 past the promotion side in Ipswich. They beat
Yeah.
the best team in the championship in Coventry.
Yeah, that's true.
And they like we see in Wrexham are one of those sides where you go to the race course and we've seen it through the rise up the football pyramid. The race course is a hard place to go to. It's one of those daunting places, and Chelsea have never been to the race course before, so it's going to be a new experience for them. I reckon Wrexham with their experience at home, they're really good at home. I reckon Wrexham can cause a boil over.
Okay. We'll go on to the next two: Newcastle and Man City, and Fulham and Southampton. I think Fulham will beat Southampton, but do you think you can? Do you think you can beat Man City and knock them out in the FA Cup?
We do really well when we play at home to Manchester City,
Yep.
not away to Manchester City. So I feel like we can get the job done. But
That's going to be a game, eh? St James's Park, because you beat them this season 2-1 in the Premier League.
yeah, and
So
but we did lose both to City in the cup
you
semi-final.
They
So
wiped the floor with. Well, they did. They wiped the floor with you, but in the last 10, 15 minutes, you could have scored 2 goals easy if you were critical. All right. Then we've got Port Vale and Sunderland. I think that's going to be Sunderland. Leeds and Norwich in the 5th round, so that'll be a good game.
yeah,
And then West Ham and Brentford.
who knows? But Port Vale did knock out Bristol City, who are chasing Premier League in the Championship. So Port Vale can pulls another upset. They've got nothing to lose. The bottom of the League One, they've got nothing to lose, and Norwich can definitely beat Leeds. I've been watching Norwich in the Championship. They looked diabolical for the first 6 months of the season, and then they won 8 of their last 9. So who knows with that one? And then obviously, what was the final game?
The final game was West Ham and Brentford.
And West Ham Brentford, I reckon Brentford go through in that one.
Okay, there we go. Well, that is your FA Cup. We are going to go through we're going to go different this time. I'm going to go through the top goal scorers. So stat leaders at the moment, Ellen Haaland is on 22. Igor Thiago is on 18. Antoine Semenyo is on 15. And Pedro now is on 14. And Hugo is on 11. They are your stats for goals. Assists, Bruno Fernandes gets another one. So does Ryan Cherky. They're on 14 and 8. Then you got Ellen Haaland on 7, Harry Wilson on 6, Grealish out for the season on 6, and Mohamed Salah on 6 yellow cards. Mosquero still stays at the top with 10 red cards. Will be another Spurs player added to that, but Romero is leading the way on red cards. Then we'll go over to the biggest one of the table. Arsenal leading the way. Played at the same time of Man City, but managed to get the job done away at Brighton and are leading 7 points clear at the top of the Premier League, with Man City still having to play that game in hand, and still both teams still have to meet each other later on in the months to come. Will that be the title decided? We'll have to wait and see. In third, with Man United, their first loss under Michael Carrick, losing against Newcastle, down to 10 men. They are on the same amount of points with Villa, as Villa losing again, consecutive 2 games on the trot to Chelsea, who are followed rightly close behind them on 48 points, joint with Liverpool as well, who got probably the shock loss of the week and maybe could be of the season, losing against Wolves. Then you got Brentford, who didn't unfortunately capitalise, only making up 1 point, going on 44 points, making 1 point over Everton on 43. Bournemouth with another draw, who did draw against Brentford, making up 40, joint with Fulham and Sunderland. The only difference is on goal difference. Then you've got Newcastle getting that win, pushes them 1 point behind their arch rivals Sunderland on 39, Crystal Palace on 38 with their win this morning against Spurs. Brighton on 37 with their loss against Arsenal. Leeds United as well, their loss against Sunderland on 31.6 points adrift of Brighton. So 2 games that they're going to have to catch them up with. And Tottenham, 5 losses on the bounce. Probably the worst form in the Premier League, as you can see it at the moment. They are now only 1 point adrift of Forest down there in 17th. West Ham on 28 points after their fantastic win against Fulham. Burnley, unfortunately, down there in 19th. And Wolves making up another win on 16 points. That is your Premier League table. Andy, thank you very much for jumping on and getting us on the show. We have a week off, obviously due to there is FA Cup action. So the next game is on the 15th of March, sorry, no, it's not. Yes, it is. 15th of March, which kicks off with Burnley and Bournemouth. We will not be live again until after the Brentford Wolves game, which is probably about the 18th and 19th of March. It's the FA Cup this weekend. Please tune in. Both of our teams are still in it, which is really good to see. Obviously, Arsenal playing Mansfield Town. And obviously, the big one is Newcastle and Man City. Annie, anything from you before we wrap it up?
And also, to anyone else that's watching, enjoy the Australian Grand Prix this weekend as well.
Yes, the F1 is back on as well. So get amongst that as it does start on Sunday, and we've got qualifying tomorrow on Saturday. But as always, thank you very much for jumping in. As always, if you've all tuned in on Off the Post, and we will see you very, very soon. Good night.